good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's SBL Resit Students Orientation session. I'm pretty sure that most of you who are attending today were kind of unlucky in the September attempt. And first of all, let me um, just a second. Let me let you guys know that I'm really sorry to hear that, and really sad as a tutor to find out that the students have not were not successful. So what's important is that what's done is done. It's a professional paper. Even brilliant students, they get stuck. So if you think you are a brilliant student and you get stuck, that's pretty fine in a strategic professional level paper. Yeah. But the more important thing is that we learn from this experience. We try to identify what went wrong. Now, it's not easy to identify, but we need to think hard in retrospect what went wrong. Something definitely went wrong, right? So let's try to find out what went wrong and equip ourselves with more power for December attempt. Okay, you guys can cry for 2 more days, but after that you need to get up, roll up your sleeves, and get to work. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, the way to ask question is either you can raise your hand, unmute your mic and speak, or you can type your questions in the chat box, right? I want you to ask a lot of questions, but let me first, start the session with some important things. So I am Hasan Dossani. That's my WhatsApp number. So before we go into detailed discussions, I would like to know, or let's try to investigate or find out why most of you failed. Okay, so those of you who are able to figure out, or you think that you failed, or you because of this reason, or you made this blunder, whatever. So let's share each other's experience so that we know what are the most common reasons why students they failed, and then we can talk about how to fix it. So first, I would like to start with Amir. Yes, Amir. You have to unmute yourself, Amir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, unfortunately, I failed at 38% marks. This time I was very sure that paper will pass, but failed at very less marks. I am so much confused why this was.
Okay, so your score was 38, huh?
Yes, sir.
And
I am
this
so
is
much
your attempt
confused.
number. That's pretty understandable. What was your attempt number? Like this was your first attempt?
Sir, second time.
And what was the marks in your first attempt?
37.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Amir, what in your opinion is going wrong?
Sir, I am very confused. Why I cannot understand why this time I failed at very less marks.
And did you give mocks?
Yes,
And what was the marks in your mocks?
61.
61.
Yes, sir. That's the main reason I am so much confused.
Yes, I can understand that. It also happens that, few of the students who scored really good in mocks, they are confident, but somehow in those 4 hours, some stress takes over and you're not able to perform. So,
Yes.
okay, we'll try to figure out, Ahmed. Okay,
Okay, sir.
anyone
Thank
else?
you.
Yeah, just hang on. Who's there? Let me check who else wants to speak. Amir is done. Farkhanda, unmute your mic, Farkhanda.
Hi, sir. Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yes.
Yes. Sir, I haven't given SBL before, but it's my last paper of ACCA, and I am planning to give it in September attempt. Sorry, I mean December attempt. So, sir, do you think that this time frame is enough to give SBL
Are you a
and prepare
full-time
for it?
student or a working student?
No, sir, I have some commitments, so I am not a full-time student.
So you have to give at least 3 hours per day from
I
now
can
on.
give that. I
If you
can give
can,
that.
if you can give 3 hours per day, which is approximately 20 hours per week, we've
Yes.
got like almost 6 weeks now. So you will be able to do if you daily give 3 hours. Okay.
Okay. Yes. But sir, like because people say that I have seen some students. They say that we studied for 10 days and we passed SBL,
That's
and
also possible.
there are some students who say that we have studied for 6 months but we couldn't clear SBL. So,
Okay.
sir, because I have a good writing skill. I am very good at writing. So, like, what do you think? Like, what are the areas that I should focus on so that I can get qualified by December? Because I have seen few of my friends, they have just one SBL left and they're still struggling with it. So,
Yeah, it
that's the
varies from person to person. So, you will hear 101 stories from 101 mouths. Okay. So you are the best judge. In this session, I will, suggest a study plan for all of you. Just follow
okay.
that study plan. It will help you. Inshallah, it will help you succeed. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
I'm most welcome. I'm first taking the questions from people who are speaking, and then I will go to the chat box. Who else wants to speak? Amir, I think has spoken. Oh, there's so many students. Uh, Ruchika,
Hello,
what
sir.
happened? Hello, what happened to you?
So I scored 46 this time.
46. And what was the score before?
So this was my fourth attempt. 49.
Oh my God. So this time it's 46, huh?
This time it's 46.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry for that. I'm sure
So
you are not able to figure out what's happening, right?
exactly, sir. And I scored 64 in mock. A
Oh God.
pure
Yes, I remember you. Yeah. This time, people who gave mocks, and they actually scored more than the mocks in the real exam. Majority of the cases where I gave them 55, they scored 60. Where I gave them 50, they scored 55. Where I said you 45, they scored 50. So majority of the people this time scored more than what they got in mocks, because this time I was pretty strict in mocks. But your case and Amir's case is really very surprising and opposite, that you guys scored 60s, but something went wrong that you get stuck. So, okay, uh, let's
and so
chat
I was
offline.
expecting that I would fail this time because
I know,
your tricks really helped me a lot. Really helped me.
I know, because I remember your name and your, mocks. So I'm also shocked. So, all right, point taken.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
welcome. Vibuff.
Hi, sir. It's Vaibhavi. Sorry. So
Vaibhavi, yeah.
it's my second attempt. Actually, I had taken a break for an year, I can say. And my first attempt, I had got a 49. So I'm actually resitting in December.
Okay. So you got 49 in September?
December.
Last December. Okay.
Yeah, I had taken a break for a year.
Okay, so then let's, towards this session, I will share the work plan, the study plan, and you follow that, and it will
But
inshallah help you
I
plan.
think what you had mentioned in September seminar, I think I can relate to it because actually you had said, you know what I had done? I had like gone through the whole textbook and then I did a lot of practice questions. So I think that's where I messed up. But seeing your webinars, I think it's made a difference that, it's going to be much better this time round. At least I'm not having so much of pressure on my mind. Like I used to have the pressure, I have to read this book, I have to finish this much questions, But I think with your technique, let's hopefully like now when I'm resitting in December, I'll be good to go.
Yeah, this time, Vaibavi, you have to focus more on practice, not on syllabus.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
All right. Thank you. Karthik?
Yeah, hello sir. Yeah,
Hi, sir.
yeah. So this was my first attempt, and I got 32 marks.
32.
Yeah. So I prepared for 2.5, 3 months, I guess, from June between to September for SBL,
Okay.
around 2 hours a day.
You
So
are a
yeah,
self-study student?
yeah, self-study student. And my question is, uh, I have cleared AFM, and for me, it's 3 papers left, including SBL. So my plan is like, should I give SBL immediately, or should I next go on with the SPR AAA? Then should I give it SPL as a last? Because I am like having the confusion between two. How should I go?
I think, Karthik, because you prepared in June, July, August, and you gave in September,
Yes,
I
sir.
suggest that you give SBL one more attempt. Okay.
Okay.
And hopefully the techniques and the discussion we will have tonight will help you prepare for it in a better manner. So let's give it one more try so that the momentum is there. If God forbid, you don't clear in December, then we can think of going for the remaining two subjects.
Okay. So because I'm currently working, and I think I can give only 2 hours a day during weekdays, and weekends I can give maybe 4 hours.
That's okay. But because you have already studied, you are a Resit student.
Yes.
So let's focus on SBL so that in continuity you don't, otherwise there's a gap, you will have to start from scratch.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. Gayatri?
Yes, sir. This is my first attempt and I got 36, whereas in my mock I got 56.
That's a huge gap. So do you know
Yeah.
the reason? Because the
Yes, sir,
first
I
two
know the
guys were
reason.
not.
For my
Okay.
mock, I could manage my time very well, but I don't know what happened to me during exam. I kept staring at the wall. I don't know. I zoned out a bit. I don't know. So that
Ah.
happened, and I left 27 to 28 marks.
What is was a center-based paper or a home-based?
Yes, sir. It was CB, and the platform was very smooth.
No, CBE, but in a center or in your home?
Center based.
Oh, so there must be some good guys around you. You were
No,
mesmerized.
no, no, sir. I don't know. For task one, I just zoned out. I did not manage my time. I didn't know what I was doing. But,
Now,
sir, actually, yes, sir. Please continue.
this is a common thing, okay? That a lot
Yeah,
of students they phase out in those 4
yeah,
hours. So you must be
yeah,
very. So a lot of students they are good in the classes. They participate. They do mocks. They score good, but actually those 4 hours
yes, sir.
somehow they take the stress on those 4 hours. Now, some students may not feel the stress, but obviously their output is affected. And
Yes, sir.
students like you actually felt that you zoned out.
Yes,
So,
sir.
how do we fix it?
So actually, I prepared for 20 days for this exam. I started my preparation very late. I prepared for 20 days. I solely followed your webinars and your exam technique, and I could clear the mock, but I couldn't clear the exam because of my bad time
How many
management. And
mocks? How many mocks you give?
so I wrote, there were two mocks conducted by you. So
Three.
the first I wrote both the mocks, sir.
Okay.
The second mock, I think I took 5.5 hours.
Ah,
Yeah.
then
Yes, sir.
then it's not a mock. If you took 5.5 hours, you did it on your own. Then you were not in the live class then.
Yes, sir. I did it on my own. I did not attend the session that day. I did it the next day leisurely. I did.
Okay. So this time you
Yes.
know what not to do, right?
Yes, sir. Actually, there was a question in task 3. So it basically asked about opportunities and threats with skepticism skills. So what I did was I wrote opportunities in a very negative way and threats in a very positive way. I don't know what
I,
made me do that. Is that wrong?
I have no idea, but let's not talk about specifics. Let's focus more on root cause.
Yes, sir. Sure.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Gayatri. Thanks for sharing. Adijat, unmute.
Right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah.
What does your name means?
Sorry?
What is the meaning of your name?
Adijat.
What does it mean?
The wife of Mohammed, probably.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. Tell me.
Okay. My first attempt was 48, and this was my second attempt, and it was 30. It
Oh,
was really bad. Yeah.
it should have been the other way around.
Yeah, but I knew what actually caused it because I was sick like 6 days to the exams. I
Okay.
actually didn't want to go for the exams, but I
So,
managed to go. I was thinking I would still be able to do well, but on the exam day,
yeah.
on the exam day, I got blanked out and I struggled and struggled. Even all those things I knew ordinarily, they went off my head, and I was just terrible.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty understandable. Few of my students also, they suffered from COVID just before the exam, so they went to the exam after they recovered, but obviously they were not 100% fit.
yeah, so
So it happens.
I was advised not to go for the exams,
Other
but
than other than your health issue,
yeah,
were you able to figure out any other mistake you did which you would have preferred not to do next time?
not actually, because
Okay.
I finished all the question.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
I finished everything, and that happened in my first attempt as well. I finished everything. The only
Yeah,
thing I just
first
noticed,
attempt, people who score 47, 48, 49, I know what goes wrong there. So
yeah,
we'll discuss on that. All
yeah.
right.
So
Thanks for
thank
sharing
you
your
so much.
experience.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Just hang on and we'll discuss all these things.
Thank you so
Anyone
much.
else who wants to speak can speak now before I move to the chat box. Yes, Ibrahim. Unmute.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam.
Sir, it was my second attempt. On the first attempt, sir, actually, unfortunately, I faced a technical issue during my exam. After
Oh,
completion of 63%, my system was shut down, and when it got re-on, so my highlights were removed, and
oh God.
I was finding it extremely difficult to answer my questions. So in that attempt, I got 34 marks. And then I reappeared for September attempt, and I followed each and every steps of yours. And after completion of 100% paper, I was pretty sure that inshallah this time I will make it. But unfortunately, I failed again with 39 marks. So really confused. And now I just need your suggestion, sir. Somebody told me that you have to have just start training in audit form, and somebody told me that you have to just at least get 1 to 2 years experience, and this is a paper which you're gonna pass after experience in a very easy way.
Not really, Ibrahim. working students or full-time students does not have any significant impact on SBL. So don't worry about that. The only thing is that since you have started working, you need to plan your time so that you devote sufficient time for your preparations. Okay. Now, were you, Ibrahim, any idea what could have gone wrong?
Sir, I've been thinking about it, that where I have been wrong,
There's
but I'm
something
not
wrong,
doing
right?
it.
Something is wrong. Do you agree that something is wrong?
Just I believe there might be an issue in my drafting. That could be a reason. But sir, what I have to do? Should I take appear for December attempt, or should I focus on my training?
Oh, no. Training versus your education. Which one is important? You tell me.
Sir, obviously both of them are really important.
You can't have both beautiful girls. You need to choose
Sir,
one beautiful girl. My friend, education is more important than training. Okay. And if you start focusing on training, your qualification will linger on, it will get delayed, and your son will qualify before you will qualify. So please,
sir, after getting 40 marks, so I'm able to give 3 hours a day. Is it enough?
More than enough. We'll talk about it.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Ibrahim. Okay, thanks. Chandani.
Hello, sir. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Sir, my issue is I sat SBL first time in June, and then I failed. I got 47, so it was a marginal fail. It was heartbreaking because it was my first fail in ACCA, but anyway, it doesn't matter. And then when I got my results, I was already 60% into SBR content. So I decided to listen to my gut feeling, and I did SBR. Luckily, I passed that in September sitting. So now I'm going back to SBL. Can you advise me how I should prepare? I mean, last time I did past papers. So I don't know how to prepare this time.
Okay, leave that with me. This is one of the important agenda for today.
Okay.
Just 1 minute, guys. Just give me a second. Sorry. Okay, thanks, Chandani. Anchal, you want to share your experience, Anchal? Okay, no. Okay, let me go through some comments, okay? And so that we exactly know what things have gone wrong in real scenarios. Anchal says, I need to know what steps I need to do to clear my exams. I will cover that. I got 35 marks and answers for full questions. So it's very common that students, several students mentioned that they were able to complete the paper and yet they got 30s marks in 30s or 40s, right? Wait a second, guys, something is going on. Okay. So it's this time I noticed that a lot of students, they said they completed the paper, but yet their marks are in mid 30s or early 40s. So I think I know the reason, and we will discuss that in a few minutes. Okay. Anything? This is my third attempt. 44, 47, 48. Behzad. Behzad, can you tell me that did you give proper mocks and was it marked by a tutor? Again, Ria, it was my third attempt, 48, 42, 48. Ria, I need to know whether you gave proper exam condition mocks and had it marked by a tutor. Divyani is saying, I got 43 marks despite attending the entire paper. Sharjeel, this is bad luck. Guys, are you able to hear me? Can I have a yes? Okay, because some people are trying to call me on my WhatsApp right now. This webinar is for generally for resitter, but it will also help, first attempt. I got 17 marks. JK, 17 is by far the lowest I've ever heard. 1-7 or 7-1?
One seven.
I'm joking. Yeah, I know. Shit, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, really. I'm really confused about it.
First attempt? Was that your first attempt?
Yes, it was.
And did you watch the webinars?
I did. I was quite confident what I wrote, sir. Except the
working student?
Sir?
Are you a working student?
Yes.
So I fail to understand 17. That's crazy.
So in fact, I'm very worried because I don't know how to now improve. What is the issue that I need to work on? Because really, it wasn't difficult for me in the exam, to be very candid. I could remember vividly what the question were and what I put in paper. So I don't know if I have some technical issue. I don't know. Really, I'm really confused.
Yeah, that's why I asked whether you are working or full time, because by the way you talk, you sound mature and intelligent. So I'm just trying to figure out 17. Are you sure it was you who went to give the paper, or your little baby?
I didn't get that, sir.
Did you went to go yourself to give the paper, or your baby went to give the paper? I mean, 17 it doesn't make sense to me. Sorry, man.
I'm really telling you. I was confused. I don't know where to lay my hands. Okay, what do I do? Is it a system error? They didn't see it. Is that something that I didn't use Crashpad like you said? So it means that I've submitted. Oh, so really, I'm very confused. Yeah.
Okay, forget about it. It's a bad dream. Don't let this get over you, over your confidence for December. Okay. Yeah, anyone would like to get 17? No, right? So those of you who got better than JK, just imagine how bad he feels. 17. Wow. All right, guys. So we've got a lot of reasons, and most of them were genuine reasons as well. Now, let's progress to some of the reasons why students failed as per the examiner. Okay. And I hope that those of you who are not able to pass, you are able to identify your mistake, hopefully from this list. Okay. So the first one is answers not linked with exhibit. This is the usual mistake, and a lot of students who watch webinar and who read examiners reports, they are aware of this. So it is unlikely, but still, I mean, you need to ask yourself whether you linked with the exhibits or not. But the second one, this one is very crazy. This one is a new reason why students are failing. This was not there before. It was, this came up in last attempt. Examiner says merely copy pasting materials from the exhibits without adding own comments or explaining why the point is important or relevant. So I feel that those of you who says that you were able to complete the paper and yet you got 35, I think this is the reason that you probably relied a lot on copy pasting. You were able to identify the relevant information, you copy pasted, and you perhaps did not explain those points enough. Okay, just giving a one line comment is not enough. If you feel that you copy pasted some information and just saying because of above it is favorable, that's not gonna fly. Okay, so I have a feeling that people who say we were able to complete the paper, then you have to pass. But if you say despite that we got 35, 38 marks, then surely you are copy pasting and not adding sufficient comments from your side. Okay. All right. The third one is poor technical knowledge and professional skills. Students who score less than 45. I repeat, students who score less than 45, they have a technical knowledge issue as well. Because students who are good in technical knowledge will score more than 45 but less than 50. Okay. But students who score less than 45, like 40, 38, 42, 25, shows that you lack technical knowledge. Whether you admit or you don't admit, that's another thing, right? I would feel that, yes, I know this topic, but maybe the way you are explaining or writing your answer, the message did not get across to the examiner in the sense, and that is why. So people less than 45 marks, you have poor technical knowledge. So you need to focus a little bit on the syllabus areas or the top 25 topics. Focus on the topics first and then on the techniques. Excessively short responses. Okay, this is the same one, like this something connected to this one, that people they copy paste 90% of the stuff and then very conveniently write one line, a diplomatic line, just to add your own comments. That's called excessively short responses. That's not allowed. You need to explain your thoughts. Can you explain your thoughts in one line? It is not I love you. It's a business point. So I cannot explain my thoughts in one line. I'm not that good. At least 2, 3, 4 lines are required to explain your points. So if you are adding your comments, one-liner comment or less than 2 lines comments, you need to check yourself. Okay. These are the reasons why you are able to complete, because you're not writing enough. You are copy pasting more, writing short own points. That is how you are able to complete the paper. Okay. That's my guesswork. Maybe I'm wrong, but you are the best judge. Let me see comment. Sarfaraz, I will answer that in a bit. Now, this is again a very common thing, not reading the requirements carefully, insufficient number of points. So how many of you actually planned the number of points you have to write according to the marks? Be very honest. How many of you planned the number of points which you need to write based on marks and you were able to achieve it? I agree, Amir. Okay, okay. Right. So I think this is something which is always the examiner has mentioned this. So those of you who are not doing this have to follow it. Weak grip over word response tools. Now, this is a problem which normally full-time students they face. But I believe now that people who are new to CBE will face this problem. People who are working students who use Excel, Word in their office work, or students who are used to CBE platform from foundation level stages, it's not a problem. So again, you will need to decide that, whether you are good in the Word document, whether your presentation, your formatting, your bold, your headings looked professional or not. And lastly, students not practicing on CBE platform. So this is again a new form. Let me complete first. So again, this is a new. So I would highlight the new points. So this one is a new point which was not there before. This is a new feedback from the examiner which was not there before. This is a new point, and this is a new point. Other than that, all the other feedbacks are the usual feedbacks in every attempt, but the one I shaded in red are the new reasons why examiner is failing bright students like you. So if you want to pass, make sure that you do not repeat these mistakes, because these are the things which is pissing off the examiner. So please try and recall whether you made any of these mistakes. Okay. Now, in my experience, and I've just talked about it in a few minutes back, that students who fail, who obtain less than 45 marks, they have weak technical knowledge. Okay. You need to then focus, devote some time on learning the topics like PESTEL, Porter, SFA, SWOT, corporate governance, risk management, internal controls, financial analysis, projections, all the top 25 topics, focus on that. If you score less than 45, it shows that you are weak technically. However, if you scored more than 45, but unfortunately less than 50, this shows that you are technically good. You knew the syllabus areas, you knew the topics, but you messed up in the exam techniques. Okay, what are the examples? Weak linking with the exhibits, or weak professional marks or formats, insufficient number of points, any of these things, these kind of things which you did not focus on, and hence the examiner stopped you at 47, 48. Now listen very, very, very carefully. For students of this range, for students who continuously fail in 40s, it's mainly also the reason is lack of practice or lack of mocks, not practice, but lack of mocks. You have to give proper mocks and you have to do it under exam conditions, um, not like Gayatri giving 5.5 hours for the mocks, and you have to have it checked by the examiner, because these fine tuning points will only be identified or fixed through a mock. Otherwise, 47, 46, 48, you will just keep on rotating in this range until you fix these things. And the only way to fix these things is mocks, proper mocks, and have it checked. For these guys, of course, mock is important, but only mock will not help you. You have to also learn the topics. Kavya is asking, will ACCA release the suggested answer for September attempt? I don't think so, because ACCA, they release after every 2 attempts. So they will merge September and December, and then they will release sometime in Feb. Halima, can you ask this in my WhatsApp, the 1-to-1? Right. So do you understand the marks range? Below 45, you have got a different problem in hand. Above 45, you have a different problem in hand. Now, this is the important thing. This is the important thing. 6 weeks planner. Okay. 6 weeks planner. So can anybody remind me what is the date of your SBL paper for December? Do you know the date? 7th December. Oh, very good. Very good. I'm glad you know the date. And 7th December is, I believe, Tuesday, right? Yeah. So I've made this planner. It is starting from 25th. Week 1 is 25th to 31st October. So today is 19th. So you can cry for 5-6 more days, but from 25th, you have to really start working hard. So week 1 is 25th to 31st, which is basically from Monday to Sunday, right? Followed by week 2, week 3, and so forth. Okay. During week 1, which is 25th to 31st of October, please watch the September 2021 webinar. It's a 15-hour webinar, 3 hours per day, right? So please watch the September 2021 webinar. Forget about all the previous webinars. Pick up September 2021 webinar, and wherever in that webinar I have referred to some previous webinars for a few topics, then just follow that track, follow that instructions. So first week you should focus on September 21 webinar. Forget about the entire syllabus. We don't have time. How many weeks we have? 6 weeks. So forget about the book. Forget about the entire syllabus. Webinars are very exam focused. So start with September webinar. In parallel, you need to do these 3 questions. Okay. Now these 3 questions, the whole purpose is to, give you an idea about case studies, how to link, how to add comments. Okay, you remember the most common reason nowadays is why students fail. They copy paste, but they don't add comments. How do you practice that? We don't have a lot of SBL questions. I want to keep SBL questions towards my last days. So please, these are hand-picked questions. These are P3 questions, hand-picked by me. This will help you strengthen your technical knowledge and basic case study linking and drafting. Okay. Week 2, when we will enter week 2, you will have to watch December webinar. Now, this will be a live session because I will be conducting the December ACCA P2P webinar, hopefully in the week of 1st to 7th November. You can watch it live. And in parallel, you will need to do these 3 questions. Again, these are hand-picked questions like these. And then you will also start your first SBL question, which is September 2018, called COFOR. So you are clear with on the weekly plan of week 1 and week 2? Okay. There is something you need to watch, and then also in parallel you need to do some practice questions. All this will go together. You will have 1 week for this bit and 1 week for this bit. Any questions so far on the planner? Yes. Is this for first timers as well? Absolutely yes. This planner says 6 weeks planner. The research students have 6 weeks, and the first timer students also have 6 weeks. So, you cannot distinguish between first timer and resets. This planner is for everybody because it is based on time. And yes, the P2P, the webinar is open for all, free for all. Okay. So now in the week 3, you will need to revise the top 25 topics, which will be directly, indirectly covered in the P2P webinars. But still, if some topics are left, you just focus on those 25 topics, and the list of the 25 topics is mentioned in the webinars. Okay. And then in week number 3, you need to do these 2 questions. These are both SBL questions. And then week 4, SBL question with 1 mock. Week 5, another mock. Week 6, another mock. Plus, all this time you will be revising as well. So because you don't have time, how many questions are there? 12, right? In total, there are 12 questions, out of which 3 are mocks. By mocks, I mean that you need to do these questions under strict exam conditions. Mock means like a real paper. And you need to time yourself. You need to take the pressure. You need to get that script marked by a tutor so that somebody can give you feedback. So out of these 12 questions, 3 are mocks and 9 are practice questions. Please take a screenshot of this. Okay, Amir has asked a very interesting question. Amir said that I practiced all the SBL questions in the last session, and now I need some new questions, which I did not attempt it before. Do we have more questions? Unfortunately, no. We don't, SBL is such a different paper that it's very difficult to, search for questions which are similar to the SBL format. Even the questions in the revision kit. Number one, they are based on P1 and P3 papers, which I have mentioned. These same questions are there in the kit with minor changes here and cosmetic changes. So, I don't think that, Amir, you have a lot of choice. So rather focus on techniques rather than the answers or the outcomes. Okay. Mock is paid or free? I'm afraid mock is a paid session, because it takes a lot of my time and energy. So my college doesn't allow me to offer free mocks. Sorry. So please, let me clean this. Who made this so dirty? Yeah. Let me clean this. Please take a screenshot of this planner. Okay. And so that you can follow this. I can also share it on the WhatsApp group. Any questions on the planner? So this is something I've given you a weekly plan. You must practice. So if you see, 1/3 is revising and 2/3 time is practicing. If you notice, 1/3 of your time should be spent on revising and watching the webinars, which is knowledge gaining, and 2/3 of the time you need to spend on practicing. Now, all this, if you want to follow this planner, you need to invest 3 hours per day. If you do 3 hours per day, you can easily manage these. For example, the webinar, you can watch the important topics, you can go through faster, you can skip topics which you know already, you can skip the repeat topics. So overall, 20 to 25 hours per week is required for each week. All right. Sir, reading the drafted answers of students who passed with 60 plus, would it help me, or just focus on the examiner's answers? Very good question. Again, Ibrahim, very good question. Aisha Siddiqa, no, don't do it. How can I analyze my or judge my weak areas in September? No way. I mean, only you can judge, and if you're not able to analyze, then there is no other way. Alice, just for mock, you need to sign. Okay, so a couple of students asked whether their answers, they should compare it with examiner's answers. The examiner's answers, the examiner's suggested answers for SBL are for educational purposes. Okay. Those answers are not fit for under exam conditions. The examiner, because the intent is to educate you, so they give very comprehensive, lengthy, well-explained, sexy answers, so that all variety of students can benefit from that. So if you compare your answer with the examiner's suggested answer, you will feel like committing suicide. You will feel that you are a, dustbin or a garbage. Your answer is garbage when you compare your answer. And that, so if you want to compare, make sure that only like 30 to 40% of your answer should match with the examiner. How much? How much? Someone trying to speak? Amir, you're unmuted. So how much percentage of your answer should match when you compare? Come on. 1/3. Okay. If your answer matches 1/3 with the examiner answer, you should feel safe, because that answer is not fit under exam conditions. Okay, that's the misconcept where students, it shatters the confidence. On the other hand, I think Ibrahim asked that whether reading answers of students who scored more than 60, 65 would be helpful. Definitely yes. Definitely yes. Reading answers from fellow students who scored 65 or 70% would be an eye opener for you guys. And in my mocks, I do share the good answers, the top 2, the top 3 answers with the entire group, so that everybody can benefit. It's much better than reading the examiner's answer, because the answer by the student is much more realistic and practical. Okay, very good, very good. SBL and APM both in December is good or bad? Very bad. Do not make this mistake of giving SBL and APM together. Okay. Ananya is saying, I have started EPSM recently. Should I finish before SBL exam? Does it impact on SBL? Please. Good question. EPSM does not have any impact on SBL. Okay. Number 2, you have very limited time, so please do the EPSM after your exams. Why APM and SBL is bad? And there's another question, SBR and SBL together, that's also bad. Why bad? Any kind of combination with SBL is bad. Why? Number 1, APM is a huge syllabus in itself. It requires a lot of time and practice. SBR, on the other hand, is another crazy syllabus on its own. So I have seen a lot of students, not able to clear when they give 2 subjects together. There are exceptions, but majority, like 85% of the students who combine SBL with SBR or SBL with APM, they do not succeed. AFM and SBL, I again said, I don't know about AFM, but surely a SBL, SBR, APM, these are bad combinations, because all these subjects are beast on its own. Okay. And other than content heavy, no doubt SBR is content heavy. Another reason why I suggest SBL should be given as a standalone is SBL is very different from the other standard ACCA papers. So the techniques in SBL is very different. So when you give 2 papers with 2 different techniques at a subconscious level, you tend to mess up. Alice, I will come to that. That's my last bit. Very good. Kobu said, I tried AAA and SBL, but just got AAA. Kobu, are you the same Kobu? Oh my God, Kobu, what happened? How much you scored? You can unmute if you have the mic. Okay.
Hello, sir.
My friend, what happened?
No, I'm talking about my June attempt. In the September, I didn't take an exam.
Oh, thank God. Okay, okay. Thanks. All
I
right.
am with SBL in December.
Yes, yes. So please try to avoid giving SBL with any other paper. There are many reasons, but bottom line is I've seen a lot of students struggle when they combine SBL with any other subject. Okay, come on. Are you guys running short of questions? Okay, now let's move on. Where could we get the answers of SBL specimen 1, 2, and 3? The answers of specimen 1, 2, 3 is in the question paper. There are no separate files. It's in the same PDF file. Once the case study finishes, the answer starts. So you will see it's the 30 or 40 page file. Now, yes, please. Who's that? Okay. Now, what can we offer? Okay. What can we offer? So for self-study students, okay, for students who want to do self-study, the P2P webinar is there. P2P webinar is there. It's all the resources there. So let me go back. So this P2P webinars are there. And then all you have to do is do these questions on your own. And you have to be very self-disciplined. You have to be very honest with you, because the problem with online or self-studying is that students, if they are working students or they are giving some other subjects or have some family issues, you are not very self-disciplined. And towards the very last few days, you suddenly start giving 8 to 10 hours. So self-study students, you can watch the webinars. They are available. They are very effective. Now, a lot of people asks me whether can we pass SBL by just watching the webinars? And my answer is 200% yes. Although I'm shooting my own self by saying that you don't need paid classes, the webinars are more than enough. But I don't care about my classes. It's what's important for you. In September, I have the marks. In September, can you see the marks? Can you see on your screen? It says P2P 83 marks, 77 marks, 75 marks, 74, 73, 67. These are from students who messaged me and they were like crying that they just passed SBL by watching the webinars. Nothing else. And this is the kind of marks people can score. Maybe these guys are exceptions. I don't know. I don't know them personally. But if you ask me, is it possible to pass SBL just based on webinars? Yes, 200%. But you will be your best judge. SBL, it requires a certain level of street smartness, a certain level of cunningness, a certain level of techniques, drafting. If you have those, you can easily pass. Okay? It varies from person to person. But where paid classes can help you is that all these questions will be done by me in a class. You see? All these questions, in fact, these questions are already done. They're already done. So the recording is there. So you can do it. You can watch me doing it in a live class through a recorded version. You can ask me questions. You can send it to me for checking. And then all these questions will be done in a live class. Very intensive live class, very, extensive discussions, drafting, crazy kind of thing. So this is where, if you feel that you are not self-disciplined and you need some mentoring, then you can join the ongoing batch. There's a special 30% discount, and it's a full scope class. Like, you will get access to everything, all topics, all the practice, mock sessions, 3 mocks, and 1 mock script. And the original price is $200, but you will get it for $140 or 21,000 rupees for Pakistan-based students. If you are a Resit student, you have already studied with me before, or you feel that you know the contents properly, you just need some practice, some mocks, then you have to wait for 3 weeks. And my mock based session will start after the P2P webinar around 6th, 7th, or 8th of, let's say 8th of November. In that, we will be doing like 4 mocks, like 4 SBL questions and 3 mocks. Okay. So, where can I get access to the webinars? The webinars are on YouTube and Vimeo. And if you are on my SBL WhatsApp group, there's a link in that group. So those of you who are not aware, I also maintain a SBL WhatsApp group globally, free of cost. Students can ask any question there, and we all help each other like a community. So if you're not member of that group, please message me on my WhatsApp and I will add you to the group. So all the papers, live classes, webinars, past papers, all the free stuff is available on the groups as well. For 1 mock script, marking and feedback, what is the example of feedback? Basically, when I check the mock, I check like an examiner. So the first foremost feedback will be your marks, that out of 100, how much you were able to score. Were you able to pass? Were you able to fail? And then each question has its own marking. And what are your shortcomings? Why was it insufficient number of points, or what mistakes you did? So, top 3 mistakes you made and your marks is the kind of feedback you'll get. Where can we find the solutions for P1 and P3? Good question. P1 and P3 questions and solutions are no more on ACCA's website. There are 2 places where you can find them. The first place is in my my Google Drive in the WhatsApp group. I think that's the solutions are there. And if not, then you need to just Google. There are some Chinese websites where the solutions are there. And if you can't find it anywhere on this planet Earth, then please message me and I will share with you. How can you register for these classes? Yeah, you can just message my coordinator. That's her WhatsApp number. You can message her and she will provide you all the details. Okay. And if you want to enroll for mock, so the price for mock is $85, and the price for a full scope, all these things, is $140. Okay. So these are all discounted prices. Please copy this number. And if you want to be added to my WhatsApp group, like the SBL Global group, then please message me on my WhatsApp. This is my personal WhatsApp number. I will add you to the group. And for details of the course and the fees and how you can register, enroll, or pay, message to my coordinator on this number. Okay, let me look at more questions. A fun, definitely yes. On my regular batch, I check assignments and I give feedback. But obviously, everything is timetabled. Okay. So now, once we start doing more SBL questions, I will be checking those questions. So it's like weekly assignments and weekly marks and feedback on the assignments. That's very important. For a resit, do we pay? You need to check with the coordinator. Just tell her your scenario and she will guide, because I normally don't get involved in these admission or administrative matters. Sir, I think mock paper should be unseen paper. Yes, Amir, you're absolutely right. But the problem is, where do I get an unseen paper from? I will not be able to create a SBL type paper. Okay. Yes, Olu, I will share this plan on WhatsApp groups, on the SBL groups. Yeah. Amir, if you have any good idea, then please message me on my WhatsApp. Okay. Anyone else? Did I miss anyone's question? Please feel free to ask questions. Anyways, if when you join the SBL WhatsApp group, which is free, you'll be surprised how students, they help each other. And if you have a question, if you struggle with something, you can't find something, just write on the group and a lot of students will step forward to help you. Okay. So please, if you're not member of that group, it's a free group, you message me on my WhatsApp. Alice, good question. It all depends how much time you have. So Alice is asking, if we enroll for the full scope, should we go through everything or just the 6 weeks plan? Your priority is 6 weeks plan. But if you can have more time, then you can go through the lectures, all those things. It's all up to you. The resources will be available to you. You have 3 weeks extra time between now and the mocks, right? So in these 3 weeks, you can catch up. That group is full. Is it? The group is full. Let me check. How many students are there? How do you check? No, it's not full. It's 174 participants as of now. And this is the 19th group, by the way. So there are 19 groups I'm managing. All right. So any other questions I can help you guys with? And anyways, in any case, if you forget to ask any question, you can either ask it on the group or you can send a message to me and I will try my best to reply. Normally, my WhatsApp is flooded. This is my personal WhatsApp and I swear I can show you my WhatsApp. Look at the situation, 118 unread messages. So it takes me 2 hours per day just to clear my WhatsApps. So please do give me some benefit of time in getting response. Okay. Yes, Sarfaraz. Sorry. Sarfaraz is saying, should we go for administrative review? My short answer is no, because I have never seen in my 20 years career with teaching ACCA anyone. But maybe in 20 years, I saw one student's result which changed. Otherwise, all the other students, their results were never changed. So it's waste. If you have money, then you can go for administrative review. Otherwise, no need. Yasser, what is your question? Because, the screen is moving so fast. Yasser is saying the group is full. Have you created a new group? Yasser, the group is not full. Send me a message on my WhatsApp and I will send you the link. Okay. Yasir, oh, okay. No, Yasir, for font size, this and that, nothing is deducted because examiner knows what are the challenges of that stupid CVE software. Halima, can you tell me your marks? Razan is saying you will resit in March but will sign up in December. No, Razan, please don't do this. If you plan to sit in March, then wait for March resit batch. I will also offer a resit batch in March as well, because the practice sessions are designed in such a way that they, gear you up for the paper, right? So if you study now and give after 3 months, it will all be a waste. So Razan, enroll in March if you plan to give in March. Halima, I think you should try in December, but make sure that you attend my mock session at least. Okay. So those of you, okay, do you want an honest advice? A very, very good, honest, hand on my heart advice. Those of you who scored 45 and above, you must join the mock session, which will start in first week of November. Okay. Those of you who scored 44, 45, 46, in late 40s, mid 40s, you must do mock session. You should not compromise on that. Okay. Trust me on that. Otherwise, for people who scored less, like 30s and 40s, you may opt for the full scope class because you need more practice, more topics. But for people who are in mid 40s, late 40s, please join mock. It will be extremely helpful to you, honest to goodness. Okay. So join the group and all the details when the mock will start will be announced there, and you can stay in touch with me on the WhatsApp group. My coordinators are there on the group, so someone will be guiding you. Yes, Ismail, you can definitely pass SBL if you do all the past papers. But the thing is, how would you know whether you did it correctly or not? Because you cannot judge your own self, right? This is where mocks help, that the tutor will independently check your paper. All right, guys. So I would really like to thank all of you for taking out this time. And again, guys, no smile, that's not good enough. Again, guys, what's done is done. Rightly or wrongly, what's done is done. Definitely, you made some error. There was some gap. That is why you were not able to clear, right? Let's admit it. So please, I've shared with you the 6-week planner. I will share this on the WhatsApp group as well. If you are a smart, intelligent, self-disciplined student, then no need to waste your hard-earned money. You must do self-study following this planner. Or if you feel that you need a little bit of assistance, you are consistently scoring in mid 40s, not sure what the hell is happening, then the mock sessions is for you. And for people who score in 30s and early 40s, the full scope batch is for you. All right, guys. So with that, it's quite late in the night. So thank you so much. Stay blessed and stay in touch.